Part 2, man. Woman gets FB message or Facebook message from an old college boyfriend after he. Nigga, is this the same video? Woman gets Facebook message from a boyfriend after he. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the same video. Let's get into it, chat. Let's do it.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing,
In
bada boom.
America, there are approximately 25 million secret boxes.
Oh, sorry.
That's basically what they are. I mean, I guess the official terminology would be a safety deposit box. But these are typically hidden away. These little secret boxes, they're hidden away inside these bank vaults across the United States. And you could say lots of people go there to hide away their expensive stuff. Their watches, jewelry, cash. They just stick them in there and no robber can come get them. Things that
Let me stop touching that mic before I beat the fuck out you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that shit hurt my ear canal.
Huh?
I'm sick of you always plugging your shit in last minute, all in my ear. Everybody pissed me the fuck off. I'm getting fucking sick of this shit.
My bad, gang. My bad, gang.
You don't got bipolar like me. Swerve.
Sorry, gang.
Play the video.
No, you don't got bipolar. You got anger, nigga. That's what you got.
Play the video, bitch.
Oh, no, we're gonna sit here all day, nigga.
Bro, oh my God. And I'm the one that fucking deleted it.
I apologize.
I'm the one that deleted it.
I apologize right now.
How about this?
I apologize.
No, nigga. I'm
all
not
right, we can
apologizing.
sit here all day.
Bro, this is cute, man. I love you, my dog.
Thank you.
Yes.
Get back into that shit.
And you could say lots of people go there to hide away their expensive stuff. Their watches, jewelry, cash. They just stick them in there and no robber can come get them. Things that they don't feel secure keeping in their homes, they go in the safety deposit box. But a lot of the times, you open these little boxes up because you have a secret. It's like a spouse hiding cash from another spouse. Is it for good reason? We don't know. A family man hiding documents that might include the existence of a second family, that's going in the safety deposit box. He's not going to put that in a shoebox at the bottom of his closet. Usually you never really have the chance to open someone else's secret box because that's the whole point. They're jumping through all of these hoops to make sure it stays secret.
Yeah, part
Unless they're
2.
dead. Then it's a whole process. Depending on what state you live in and your will, let's just say if you die under suspicious circumstances, like if you were, let's say, killed in your living room by the little boy that you assaulted, only he's not so little anymore, he's a full-grown man with a knife, then yeah, most likely that safety deposit box is going to be opened under the watchful supervision of authorities and very tense, very awkward bank employees. In Dennis Pegg's safety deposit box, they find a ton of letters, handwritten letters. None of the letters are particularly insightful. He doesn't spill all of his secrets to confess anything, but the letters are really creepy. First of all, he wrote these letters 10 years before he dies while he's a relatively healthy, slightly middle-aged man. Typically, men of that age are not fully estate planning with handwritten letters to everyone that they deem special in their lives. And the letters themselves are strange. They all contain variations of the phrase, "Pray for me if you can," which if they're reading
nobody
these
praying
letters,
for your
he's
ass,
already
nigga.
dead. And forgive me
Fuck
for my
you.
faults. I've
I'm
forgiven
alive.
you for
Rest
yours.
in peace.
You were always like a little special son to me or a little brother to me. It's just letter after letter in that safety deposit box, most likely written for his victims. Victims who, after their abuser is dead, will be delivered a handwritten letter asking them to pray for their abuser. In part 1, we went over the night of the killing where Clark, after 33 years of not doing anything about Dennis Pegg, his abuser, when he was 12, he decides he's going to do something now. He goes to Dennis Pegg's house after 30 plus years. Dennis sees him at the front door holding a hunting knife that, ironically, Dennis taught Clark how to sharpen. And all he
said,
says
"Hi,
is,
buddy."
"Hey, how are you?" Clark is slashing at him, slitting his throat, stabbing him countless times. And then finally he spits on his bed before walking out. Clark's mom tries to help him get away with murder. She's like, "We gotta go on the run." But he decides he's gonna stay. And that is when the police come for him. They arrest Clark and now he's
drop a
going to
loogie on
prison
that
where
nigga
he's
before
gonna
he-
be
before he
placed
did.
in the cells with the types of people that he hates the most. I mean, one of them that he's already killed. Those are child predators. In part 2, we're going to cover Clark's time in prison, how he survived, all the strange details about what it means when your fellow cellmate keeps flushing his head down the toilet, and how Clark is now a free man. We also go into depth about what happened to his brother, another victim of Dennis Pegg, who ends up being killed by Dennis, and what even happened in those 33 years between Dennis Pegg abusing Clark and Clark killing Dennis for what he's done. Why did the FBI come to find Clark? How does he get involved with the mob, the mafia? Also, the fact that Dennis Pegg has likely close to 100 victims, including his own grandnephew who self-exits soon after Dennis Pegg's murder. And somehow, throughout all of this, the one person that Clark cannot stop thinking about is a woman named Lisa. So what role does Lisa play in all of this? This is part 2, the final part of our interview with Clark Fredericks. All of those questions will be answered in this part of the episode, but there are still so many details and stories that Clark has to share that you can find in his memoir, Scarred, or by following him on his social media and by
How many of
checking out
y'all
his
read the
podcast.
memoir?
So with that being said, let's get into part 2.
Alrighty. Hey, Maud, make sure you pin which episode we doing so
You've
people
been
know.
reached out by the IRS, the FBI, and Homeland Security.
That's correct.
Were you counting cards?
I studied counting cards, but I found it to get a little distracting. This is going to sound weird.
Okay.
You know, I would go to the casinos and I would walk the casino floor and I would get a vibe for a table. And I'd be like, this is the table. And I'd just get a feeling for it. And I would gamble and I would get a feeling like, all right, it's time to up your bet. And I had an unbelievable, 4 or 5 year run in the casinos that was just astronomical. I'm working in the tire automotive field, making $700 a week, and I'm down in Atlantic City, winning tens of thousands of dollars left and right.
And you're just putting cash in your closet?
In my briefcase in my closet.
This goes on for how many years?
This was a distraction from my pain.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's not like I consciously said, I have trauma from being abused as a child. I need to gamble to distract myself. Yeah. It was just, I'm uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable. It's my trauma in there making me feel uncomfortable. But I feel uncomfortable and I need something to distract me from that uncomfortable feeling. I need pleasure. I became a pleasure seeker. Don't address anything. Don't ever go inside. Let's just seek pleasure our whole life, whether it's drugs, gambling, whatever it may be. Seek pleasure. So that's what I was doing with gambling.
What is the most you've lost?
Most I lost was $75,000.
And do you feel it in that moment? I just lost $75,000.
Oh yeah, you can't sleep. It's just acid is awash in your stomach. Mm-hmm. But again, the high you get from losing is just.
I lost $20. I almost cried that night.
The high from winning.
Mm. You start by reading books about gambling, and then somehow you end up being very superstitious.
Yeah, I mean, I went down there just on a whim, bored with life, and won $1,700. Went back, won $2,200. But I was getting yelled at the blackjack table because I didn't know what I was doing, but I was still winning. So I'm like, I'm not going to go back until I know what the hell I'm doing. And I would always hear all this screaming at the craps table. It sounded like a blast. So I had no idea how to play craps. So I took 6 months. I got 5 deck of cards. I read all these books on blackjack. I read books on craps. I would throw dice in my room. I would play all the hands of blackjack. I'd pick which one I am and see how it would affect things, my decisions. And I did that for 6 months until I felt comfortable to go back down. And then just boom, 17,000, 28,000, 30,000. It just went boom, 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 boom.
Is it true that if you win or lose, you could blame it on the fact that you stepped on a crack? Is that genuinely what starts happening, or?
Those little quirks didn't start right away, but as you start winning more and more and more, you start thinking, all right, what did I do? All right, I better not step on any cracks. I don't even know where it came from. It was just boom, all right, what did I do
to
in
win
the
this?
days leading up to going to the casino? Like, oh, when I went up the stairs, I jumped that second stair, and then that, like I skipped 2 stairs there. So like then I would have to go up the stairs a certain way, and then I couldn't step on any cracks on pavement. Like, and then like where they paint the blue handicap spots with the wheelchair, I'm like, that's bad luck. Don't ever step on that. And then when I would get to the casino, there was a whole other ritual, like for rolling the dice. It would, I would have to tap it a certain number of times. And
It goes
my
deep,
knee,
man.
I would have to hit the table with my knee a certain number of times before I could roll the dice. And it was like, it just started getting more and more and more and more insane.
You be thinking that
start
shit
at the
works too, bro.
casinos,
Nah, it's
but
crazy,
then you
bro.
get involved with the mob.
Oh,
Yeah. Another brilliant decision.
Okay, so you get involved with the mob. How much do you owe the mob?
It was because I needed action every day of the week to distract myself from feeling uncomfortable. So like
shit.
I couldn't wait to the weekends to go gamble. I needed something. What am I going to do
Buy
Monday
sugar
through
bars.
Friday?
This nigga's dangerous.
So it came about that I could, through a bar, I could start sports betting every day of the week. And I was given a no limit bet. So like I could bet as much as I wanted, as often as I wanted. In 6 months, I was broke, like lost everything. And in that last week, I was down 20,000 and I didn't have it. Now you would think,
Did I say your name?
all right, it's time to walk away, Clark. But no. I'm going to get that 20,000 back if I can, plus some. So I called the number that I called to place my bets, and I said, hey, I got to move some money around. Can you let me carry that 20,000 over for another week? And they're like, for you, anything. I'm like, okay. So I go into that next week, 20 in the hole. And I'm
Lost
like,
it all.
I got to get that 20 back. Plus, I want to keep gambling, so I need to win on top. So I just start making really stupid bets. And when the week ended, I was 77,000 in the hole to the mob.
So when you were gambling in casinos, you were making money.
Yeah.
How
I
much
made,
were you making?
Oh, hundreds. I mean, my largest win was 153,000.
Look at Stephanie's face. Just
yeah,
like,
Stephanie's like, shit. Am I in the wrong profession, nigga? Hey, nigga. You look at her, man, like, hey, yo, Mr. Mango, but we might have to put 100K on blackjack, nigga. I need that.
So all you got to do is tap your toes 2 times and hit the dice on the table like 4 times, and fucking hit your knees on the fucking, or stub your toes on the side of the fucking curb. Nigga, you be good, nigga. You make some money.
Nah, nigga, he was 77K in the hole. That means, nigga, he was in debt.
Yeah.
But he was making before he started.
No, before he was in debt,
Oh, yeah.
he was making bread.
He was making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And then he lost it all, man. That's how gambling is. Don't gamble, chat. Because you start that motherfucker, you're going to lose all your bread. Don't trust.
Me and the king gambled, dog.
Nah, don't gamble, chat.
We gambled, bro, and it's not the way, bro.
It's
Don't
not.
ever gamble in
When
your
I told
life.
y'all I lost that $20, man, I was hungry that night. I was mad I did that shit.
Ever
Because I just tried to
gamble,
test it.
It was
I was quiet,
Devontae's fault.
Don't ever
Don't
gamble.
ever gamble.
It was
chat.
Devontae's
My
fault
largest
too, man.
win-
I lost my $5 too.
I'm telling y'all, don't
Black
How
Jack.
much were you making?
Oh, hundreds. I mean, my largest win was 153,000. And that was after losing 3 times on the craps table where I had 20 to 30,000 at a clip up there.
Wow.
So I was well over a quarter
Kumo,
million
shut up.
just for that one time. But I mean, 50,000, 70,000. My host put me into a blackjack tournament for 75,000, winner take all. And he's like, I think you got this, bro. You're
That's
lucky.
how they get you.
That's how
I
they
didn't
fuck you
win.
up.
I got knocked out about halfway through it, but I went to a high stakes blackjack table and I won 80,000. So like I won more than what the prize was.
So then you were like, okay, I'm going to do this with the mob. And then you're down 77,000. And now the mob is trying to kill you.
The mob is threatening me,
Damn.
threatening my life. the mob is telling me the best thing I could do for myself is to go rob a bank. The guy's like, look, if you get caught, you're looking at 5 to 10 years. You'd be a hell of a lot better off doing 5 to 10 years than what we're going to do to you. And they're calling me every day. And this was like a constant, dude, you got to go rob a bank. Like, what are you waiting on? Go rob a bank. Maybe you'll get away with it. You can give us money and hold us off. You get caught, you go do 5, 10 years. What's the big deal? You know, that was what they were constantly on.
Did you ever consider robbing a bank?
No.
Oh.
And then they called my family.
Oh,
They got my father's phone number. And they said, hey, old man, you want to save your son's life? You better pony up some money for him. I had already gone to my family to warn them. And sure enough, they called my father. Then they called my brother, who I used to be in business with. And they're like, your brother's in a lot of trouble. You have the power to save your brother's life. You can do that by paying us what he owes us. And I had told everybody to tell them, like, this is Clark's responsibility. He'll handle it with you. And that's what they both said. But it scared everybody to death.
Were you not scared?
Oh, yeah. It was the worst time in my life.
Okay.
It was horrible. I had a shotgun in my truck, loaded, that I drove around with. I had a baseball bat in my office.
That nigga prepared.
I was constantly on edge, just to leave the house in the morning, I got to go to all the windows of the house and look out in the yard, behind the shed, see if anybody's out there, you know. The same thing, leaving my office, like I've got to survey every. I was just hyper vigilant, is what they call it, and I was hyper vigilant to the max.
So the mob is as scary as they're depicted in movies and books. Like, they're intense.
Yeah, it was just angry, threatening phone calls almost on a daily basis, and I wasn't trying to get out of. I wasn't trying to weasel out.
Yeah.
But I told them the only way I could make good on this is to set up a payment plan. And what I really could afford was $500 a month at the time, because I had a lot of debts to casinos. Casinos would all let me have, markers, $20,000 markers in them all. So I had all these markers I owed, and credit cards were maxed out.
Yeah,
it's like I'm trying to juggle everybody.
They need to make a movie for this.
So I told the guy, I can do $500 a month. And the guy went absolutely bananas. And he's like, $500 a month doesn't even cover the juice on $77,000. Like, you're out of your mind, bro. So it was a horrible time. And then I get a phone call after months of this. And it's them. And they don't ask for money. They just say, you're a dead man, and click and hang up.
Oh, man.
And then
I shit in my
a
pants.
couple months goes by after that where I'm completely on edge, can't sleep. You're always listening for every little sound. Is that somebody out there? And I get a call. At this point in time, we had 2 tire automotive centers. I had one and my brother had one. And I happened to be at my brother's store one day, and his office manager came in the back room and said, hey, there's a phone call for you. I'm like, who the hell's calling me over here? Nobody knows I'm here. He goes, I don't know. They asked for Clark. So I answered the phone, and the guy introduces himself as a special agent with the FBI. I need to meet you at your Newton location, the store I had, on Thursday at 3:00. And I'm like, well, bro, you got to tell me what this is about. He's like, no, I don't. He goes, I'll see you Thursday at 3:00. And he hangs up. And then your mind just goes in a million directions, I couldn't fathom what the FBI is coming to meet me for. I was doing some now and then, and I'm like, is the FBI going to try to pinch my dealer by by pressuring me. Like, I'm buying a gram of, like, when the FBI's getting involved on a gram of. So I had no idea what it was. And then the guy came to the store, and clearly was an FBI guy, and said they had an informant inside one of the major crime families who told them a hit had been put out on my life for my gambling debt.
Jesus Christ.
And if I didn't think it was real before then, that really made everything real.
But you still didn't snitch. You didn't cooperate with the FBI. You're like, well,
No, they wanted me to wear a wire, and I was like, "Are you out of your mind? Like my life is hell right now. You want me to wear a wire and make it even worse?" I go, and I told the FBI guy what I told the mob guy. I go, "This is my problem, and I'm not running from it, and I'm gonna deal with it." And the FBI guy said, "Well, that's very noble of you, but if things get too heavy for you, here's my card. You can call me."
Wait, what did the FBI guy offer you at first? He said, wear a wire and we will help you? Or
Yeah. It's not like, like, we'll solve your problem by taking these guys down. And I'm like, no, this is my problem, and I'm not going to compound it by wearing
I
a
would
wire.
be down by
wow. Is it because that you scared that wearing a wire is more dangerous than...
That's just not the type of person I was. You know, like it wasn't in my DNA to become a little weasel snitch wearing a wire. Like,
Interesting.
no, it's not.
He's basically saying he's not pussy.
It's all in the book. But if you, because I know the FBI, Homeland Security, and IRS Criminal Division reached out. If you had to rank them in intensity, who was the scariest agency? Because it's a lot of experience.
Division of Homeland Security, I'd say, is at the bottom.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Boy, the FBI, the IRS did a full audit
That
on me.
nigga fuck
They thought I was
Homeland
money
Security.
laundering because I was putting in all this cash from the gambling winnings.
They're more
into my
pussy than
bank
me.
account. That was a nightmare doing
You
that.
didn't just tell them you're that good. They're like, no, we don't.
Well, that's that's what I eventually got to that point with them, But there's laws for trying to skirt the $10,000 notification rule. Dummy me, like somebody said, "Oh, if you put in under $10,000 deposit, it doesn't get recorded or notified." So I'm like, "Oh, cool." So 9,800, 9,700, 9,600, 9,700, 9,800, 9,200, 9,400, 9,800, like nonstop, and then that sets off all the red flags. And so yeah, that was a nightmare too.
So IRS or FBI, who's scarier?
No bypass to it.
I think when you're told a hit's been put out on your life and a confidential informant, that's the top of the list. Yeah.
That's like in your 30s. But it does seem like after everything that Dennis did, there were signs in your childhood where a lot of psychiatrists later say it seemed like you're crying for help, like trying to get help in a way. Playing with fire, is that one of them?
Yeah, I became a little firebug.
What is it about fire? Because I see that a lot in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I think it has to do with control, and it's an outlet for anger.
That's what I thought.
From what happened.
So you're just like lighting matches, or are you lighting things on fire?
Yeah, I lit our house. We had this screened-in patio bar area out back, and I lit the corner of that on fire. And like guys happened to show up that were going to be painting the house, and like the screened-in porch things on fire. Like it had been smoldering overnight and caught on fire when they got there. And we had a huge backyard and raked the leaves into a pile where the swing set was, and you'd swing off into the leaves. Well, I just took a can of gas all over the leaves and set it on fire, and this big fire exploded. And
these are big fires. Okay.
So yeah, and then another sign of abuse is shoplifting. And I got caught shoplifting, and it's the same thing. It's an outlet for anger and pain. It's a control issue.
I love playing.
Yeah, so those were signs, and I started smoking pot like right after the abuse. 12
Smoking
years
it,
old,
bro.
started smoking pot, drank heavily in high school, got suspended for coming in drunk, got caught on a class trip to the Jersey Shore, drinking on a bench with two other buddies, and the chaperone teachers come up behind us and like, seriously, guys. My principal threatened me that I wouldn't graduate with the class if at the prom he even had the hint of alcohol on my breath.
Did you ever feel frustrated that these teachers are saying these things to you, but they don't like recognize what is underneath that behavior? Was there any sort of frustration or anger towards them?
No. I'm there was a thing with the essay I wrote, which is unbelievable. I would hope that times have changed, and your audience, in the book they'll see this essay I wrote, and I put a lot of stuff in there in this essay that was. It just screams, I've been abused,
Yeah.
I need help and I've been abused. And the teacher gave me an A and said, use more paragraphs next time. So if you see a sudden change in behavior in a younger person, there's a reason why, shoplifting, fire, weed, drinking, getting suspended, getting detentions, getting caught on class trips, getting threatened by the principal, writing this essay that screamed, I need help. And I don't know if it was a sign of the times, but it was all right there. And, nobody picked up on it.
What's interesting about your case is that, because I know there's a lot of cases where maybe victims' family and parents are not as involved in their lives and they might be missing a lot of the larger signs. But it seems like your dad was picking up on these signs and he asked you multiple times.
Yeah.
And you never told him what happened.
And I really I've been asked, if I have regrets in life, do I regret owing $77,000 to the mob? Do I regret doing drugs? Do I regret, really the only, and it's tough to have this regret, but I do have this regret, being a young boy and lying to my father when he asked me if Dennis Pegg ever touched me. And I just couldn't. The shame is,
I know that was
the shame is there and the pain is there. And my parents viewed me as the golden child for surviving this operation. And I just didn't want to become now the abused son who's tortured inside mentally. So
I also feel like when you've been threatened, you know what I'm saying? In a certain way, you've been brainwashed heavily to the point that, the dude is telling you, this is our little secret. You can't tell nobody. And you know what's going to happen if you tell somebody, get crushed like a dog with everything. It's you as fuck this nigga head up to the point that you don't, you know what I'm saying? As a kid,
it's traumatized, man.
It's traumatizing for him to even want to feel comfortable to even talk about anything because he might be like, oh, his life is on the line.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's
but this dude went through, I ain't gonna lie, this dude went through, apart from the essay, bro, this dude went through a bunch of stuff in life, bro. Jeez, man.
Honestly, you went through the craziest shit.
Yeah. Bro, I was not expecting that mob shit at all, bro. It's rarely you hear people the mob, man.
The mob is after me.
That shit's crazy.
Son who's tortured inside mentally. So I just told my dad, no, he never touched me.
Around the time that your dad starts asking you if Dennis Pegg ever touched you, there were some other kids that were talking about it.
Yeah, that's how it came out.
And nothing happened.
All right. Now just picture this. You have a 260-pound hulking lieutenant at the jail who's waiting out in the parking lot for young male inmates to get released so he can take them home to his house to mentor them. I'm a mentor. I'm going to give you a safe environment. You come live with me. We'll get you back on your feet. In the middle of the night, he would pounce on these young male inmates. Some ran away. Some didn't. Some probably froze like I froze. But the ones that ran away in the middle of the night in Stillwater, Stillwater is just like a little tiny rural town. And they would hitchhike. And when they would get picked up, they would tell the people, like, I just got out of jail, and this guy told me he would give me a safe place to stay, to get my feet back on the ground. And in the middle of the night, he's in my bed trying to do stuff with me. And it spread like wildfire around Stillwater. And that's where my father sat me down, said, did Dennis ever touch you? The first time he sat me down was probably a year after so I was probably 13. Wow. The second time was when a waitress in a donut shop told my father over a cup of coffee that her son, who was a classmate of mine, same grade, from Stillwater, in the Boy Scouts, had been by Dennis. And my father came home after she said that, and this time he said, before you answer me, I just want you to know you'll never have to go to the cops. You'll never have to testify in court. I'll take care of Dennis myself. Did he ever touch you? So is my father saying, I'll kill Dennis? That's how I took it. And that's way too much weight to put your teenage son under. Like, as tempting as it was, like, I was tortured over that for a long time. Like, man, do I tell him? Do I tell him? Do I tell him? I want Dennis dead. Yeah, Dad could kill him. Dad could kill him. But then what if it goes wrong? What if Dad gets killed in the attack? Then it's my fault for telling him. What if Dad,
so much thinking that goes into it,
goes to prison?
Cause that nigga is crazy, bro.
Without a father. That's on me, because I told him. So now I can't tell him. No, I can't.
Hold on, what happened? What happened to John Cena, Jack?
And that's way too much weight to put your teenage son under. Like, as tempting as it was, like, I was tortured over that for a long time. Like, man, do I tell him? Do I tell him? Do I tell him? I want Dennis dead. Yeah, Dad could kill him. Dad could kill him. But then what if it goes wrong? What if Dad gets killed in the attack? Then it's my fault for telling him. What if Dad goes to prison for the rest of his life?
Well, there is a lot of thought that goes into this.
That's on me, because I told him. So now I can't tell him. No, I can't. And I didn't tell him.
Do you think your dad would have?
He most likely did something.
Something later on the book my dad told me on his deathbed, and that just confirmed that he would have done it.
That's crazy.
How do you feel that it was you that killed Dennis rather than your dad?
Yeah, nobody's ever asked me that.
I want to hear home.
I feel better that it was me instead of my dad. Because sending somebody else to do your work to... Like, look, if I did it and I was either on a suicide mission, I was either going to commit suicide after, or I was going to do life in prison. That's on me. I don't want to be responsible for sending somebody else to do life in prison to get mortally wounded, maybe, or to commit suicide after they do it. I don't want that on my shoulders.
It seems by all accounts you were a very smart kid, and you end up at Northeastern.
Yeah. And I never applied myself in high school. Like, after the abuse, I just... Everything was lacking, another sign, but I was really smart and I could do no work, get B's, C's. somehow I got into Northeastern. They weren't as strict back then as they are now. Like now it's like uber tough to get in, you know. But I got in and became a excellent student. I graduated cum laude.
And there is someone that you meet at Northeastern that's featured in your book?
Yeah. I you know, Dennis Pegg did a lot of things that derailed a lot in my life. And one of the things he derailed was me being able to be intimate with a partner. And by intimate, I mean like open, you know, like is one thing. Intimacy is a completely different thing. And I met this girl, Lisa, and she was so bubbly and outgoing, and she approached me. I was just studying by myself, and she came over and plopped down, and just she was a whirlwind in my life, and she saw signs though even back then. Like she would say to me,
something happened to his wife,
we would be laying together in bed, and I would have like soldiers come back from war and have a 1,000-mile stare.
Don't say nothing, Chat.
And she'd be like, "Hello, hello," and she'd be like in front of my face, and I'm still just like I wouldn't even acknowledge it. And then she'd hit me, and I'd be like, "What?" She's like, "Where are you in your mind right now? Like, you are not present with me." I'm like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." You know, like, played it off that she was nuts. You know, the trauma of this abuse was still really fresh and raw, and I would get lost in thought about it. And we had an amazing connection, amazing love between us. I could tell her I loved her, and I did. We had passion, and we dated for 6 years, and she was ready to like start our lives together, get married, careers, family, whatever it would entail. And I couldn't do that. Like,
did you ever think about telling her, or
no?
Why?
For a similar reason to my parents. I didn't want to go from the cool, sexy, party animal, fun-loving boyfriend to the wounded, broken wing duckling.
So you guys break.
We break up.
Damn.
Do you feel like she was?
relationship.
I mean, do you believe in soulmates? Is that a crazy question to ask someone your age, or is that?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think that she was yours?
Yeah.
How long after college do you guys break up?
I was a year ahead of her. So I graduated, and then she graduated a year behind, and then like another year after that.
I'm guessing
is
she's
when
still not
she's
married.
like, you know, what are we doing here? You know, I was just jerking her around at that time, and she's like, you know, she was living in the city. I was living in Jersey. I would go in for a weekend. We'd have an amazing time, but then I'd disappear for a month or two. And then show back up, have an amazing time, disappear again. And she's like, every time you disappear, you're breaking my heart. Like, what are you doing? And I just, she's like, are we going to get our act together and get going on life together or not? And I go, I can't do that. Like, everything is subconscious with it, with abuse.
Oh
it
my
was
God.
just like the thought of getting married, being tied down, scares me to death. It makes me feel really uncomfortable because being tied down and scared to death is how I was in that guy's house. And I'm feeling trapped, and I felt trapped in that house. So just that trapped feeling, I can't feel trapped. I don't want to feel trapped. Don't make me feel trapped. I'm going to run if you make me feel trapped. You're making me feel trapped. I got to go. Sorry.
Just ruin my guy's life, bro.
That's how it was with careers. You know, like in my 20s, it was like 2 to 3 years in a career, and that was it. Like I'm getting really uncomfortable feeling. I'm feeling trapped. I'm feeling like just a lot of pressure.
Like you're being controlled.
Like I'm just like getting pushed down into the ground.
Yeah.
I gotta run. I gotta go. I was a prey caught in his snare. He had me trapped for years, and I just never wanted to feel that feeling again.
Just an interesting observation. You don't have to comment, but it's interesting because you feel that way with relationships and careers. But in your book, you don't use this terminology for your careers, but you do with Lisa. You have this tendency to write post-Lisa when describing certain events that happen after the breakup. It's very interesting.
Back in college, myself and my 2 roommates and Lisa and her 2 roommates, we all dated. So the 6 of us were always together. 2 of the couples didn't make it, Lisa and I being one, but one of the couples did. They got married.
After college, you guys break up. You're in, the FBI's calling you, the mob is after you.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of everywhere. And then you kill Dennis Pegg.
Yeah.
Like, in your darkest time, you never thought, like, maybe I should reach out to her?
Wait,
Constantly.
so he was in the mob
over the decades?
He was in the mob before he killed Dennis Pegg?
Yeah, that is crazy, huh? I mean, yeah, it makes sense because he would have been in jail. Or unless it's after he came out of jail.
Yeah, he was in his 40s? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I should reach out. Like, in your darkest time, you never thought, like, maybe I should reach out to her?
Constantly. Over the decades, constantly.
What stopped you?
Just the way I was living, the shape I was in, the shape my life was in. Like,
oh, you got a wedding.
I had so many grandiose fantasies about finding Lisa and sweeping her off her feet and riding off into the sunset. But I've got the mob wanting to kill me. Like, I'm really going to bring her into that.
I can't bring that. Yeah.
I'm going to go find her, sweep her off her feet, ride off into the sunset. But I'm addicted to drugs and alcohol. Really? I'm going to bring her into that?
So you don't...
So there was never a good time. I talked myself out of it. I would talk myself into it, and then I talk myself out of it.
So you don't not reach out because of you. You don't not reach out for her. Like, you don't want to bring her into these things, so...
Yeah, I don't want to hurt her all over again. Like, I knew I hurt her back in the day, and I cared so much for her, I didn't want to do that again. Like,
if you bring her in, you're just only making it worse.
From the abuse to the murder, it was tumultuous, to say the least. Like, I was off wandering in the desert for 30 years, like, just going down one bad path after another. And I couldn't bring her into that.
So now you're in jail.
This is a strong
you're
man,
facing life in prison after the killing. You're withdrawing from drugs. You have a hole in your hand. I mean, what are your options? To plead insanity? Like, do you have any options at this point? What's going on in your mind the first night in jail?
Well, they put me
in the
suicide cell, which is exactly where I needed to be.
Do the lights turn off in there?
No.
I feel like that makes things worse, no? Okay.
You know, the camera's in there, and, you know, it's on you, and, it was hell.
I think what's interesting is I was reading through all of, like, the psychiatric reports that were done when you were in jail. Did you feel like a lab rat? It seems like there's so much debate about your state of mind. Do you feel like you're just being poked and prodded at? And
yeah, like those psych exams were like nerve-wracking. You know, It was, you know, because some of the stuff they had you do.
That's a strong
they would
man,
show
bro.
you pictures and try to get you to describe the scenario, the scene.
Yeah.
It's very
and
interesting.
and then like I had to do the Rorschach test, the ink blots.
Yeah.
And you got to come up with what it looks like, and it's just oh my god. And I thought like one wrong answer, like they would like he cannot get out for the rest of his life.
Bro, come on, bro.
Like I just thought like how is and the pressure you put yourself under to try to answer things right, that just makes it worse, because then you're like,
I can imagine, bro.
And like 500 multiple choice tests. Like boom, you gotta take this 500 multiple choice test, like, and they ask you the same question in that multiple choice test 4 different ways, seeing if you like, they'll reword it, but it's the same question to see if you answer differently,
It seems like you were honest. I don't know. This is one. So you were shown a picture that is not provided, but you say that it appears to be a man who's pulling away. She's trying to hold him and talk to him. Maybe he drinks too much and has anger problems. So it feels like you took these tests very seriously. Like, it doesn't seem like you were trying to answer how they wanted.
Almost feels like I'm talking about Lisa and I.
Yeah. When you get to prison, eventually, you have to carry around a file, so that if someone accuses you of being a pedophile, prisoners will show their file. Were there a lot of pedophiles getting beaten up in prison?
There's a lot of fights, but it wasn't necessarily the pedophiles getting beaten up. Believe it or not, the prison likes the pedophiles because they're the snitches. So like they use them.
That's so interesting.
To be snitches. So like they, like they hate what they did, but they use that against them to get info out of them. So on the unit I was on, I was told by my therapist that 2 out of 3, I was told 1 out of 3, closer to 2 out of 3 guys on my unit was there for a crime, mostly involving children. I was like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
And I'm like, oh,
dude is surrounded by a bunch of
them. And then I was told, one of the guards told me, like, oh yeah, they're our snitches for us. Like they give us all the dirt on guys.
If you hear about a pedophile that gets beaten up in jail, did you feel anything? Were you just like...
Well, in the county jail, the tier I was on was not supposed to have any. And yet, somehow, I was told by paperwork getting mixed up, they kept putting pedophiles on my tier in the county jail.
They're doing that shit on purpose.
The guards,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's probably like a test or something.
In the county jail, hated the pedophiles. The pedophiles in prison, they use them. In the county jail, they hated them. And they would come up to me and be like, that guy that just came on, he's a kitty toucher. So like they would be like egging me on to like do something.
But that would have made your life exponentially harder as well.
Yeah, and I was cognizant of like, what will that look like to go to trial, to go to sentencing, and all I've been doing my whole time here is beating up pedophiles. Like, how could they possibly release me then? But I would tell them, myself and another guy would go sit down with them. And I did this a couple times early on, and then I just let 2 other guys down. And we would just say, look, man, we got word that you're a kitty toucher. You know what they call them in there? I don't even know if I put it in the book.
I don't think so.
Tree jumper.
Why?
Think of the guy with an overcoat on, hiding behind a tree, and then a little kid walks by and they jump out and open their overcoat. Tree jumper. So like that's what they're called here. Like out west in California, they call them chomos.
Oh,
Child molester. Chomos, they call them. But here in Jersey, New York, they're tree jumpers. And sort of, the guards would either say kitty toucher or that's a tree jumper. And we would just be like, sit down with them at a table and be like, look, bro, we're told you're a tree jumper and you got to go. You got to hit the button. You could go over, there's a button by the door and you press the button and the guards would be like, what do you want? And you say, I want to check in. Means protective custody.
Oh.
So I did that a couple times. I'm like, look, if we're wrong, I apologize. But it's not safe for you to stay here because that's the word now. And somebody's going to come after you. And they'd be like, it's not me, man. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. And we'd get up and be like, sorry, bro. And we'd walk away, and within a minute, they'd go over to the button and be like, I need protective custody.
So you never wanted to maybe punch one?
No, like, I wasn't there. Like, I've said this, like, if I got a life sentence, then all bets were off. Yeah. Right. But yeah. I wasn't, and my therapist told me about how many were on my unit because she didn't want me to do anything stupid. She goes, don't tell the guys on your unit what you're here for. Yeah. Because it's called putting a battery pack on your back and amping you up. So she go like, if the guys know what you're here for, they're going to put a battery pack on your back and try to get you amped up to go do something stupid. I go, nobody's going to make me do anything I don't want to do. Yeah. I go, they're not putting any battery pack on I go, and in the psych exam, they asked me that, like, how do we know you're not a risk to harm other people? And I'm like, unless you were the person who abused me, I'm not out to avenge every pedophile out there. I go, just the one that abused me. So,
what was worse, the mice or the cockroaches?
Oof. Well, I was on the top bunk, so I didn't have to necessarily deal with the mice. To me, the cockroaches were worse because they would fall on you.
I can imagine shit like that happening, bro.
Wow.
Do you want to lay down tonight and have a cockroach fall on you? You scream and you're like, rah! That was in a place called CRAF. Okay. CRAF. And that's when you leave the county jail to go to prison, you have to go to this place to get classified which prisons suit you best. And it's they purposely have it as a hellhole to like
I'm saying, bro,
frighten you from never wanting to come back into the prison system. And the guards are frightening, and the mice are frightening, and the cockroaches are frightening, and everything's disgusting, and it's just like you don't want to go back to CRAF. CRAF was hell.
I mean, how is prison in general? But like, how bad is bad? I mean, I see people are flushing their heads in toilets for drugs, for smoking marijuana.
Well, those toilets are like the airplane toilets. It's just like sucks. So if you want to smoke weed, you put your head in your toilet and blow it and hit the button. You can always tell somebody who's smoking weed in their cell because the button goes. You just hear the suction sound going and going and going and going and going.
So guards are just walking by and they just see cellmates with their heads in the toilets.
Well, there's usually only one guard on at a time. There's a guard on the floor, and then there's like two guards in a bubble, and they have to do a walkthrough like every so often. So when they just did their walkthrough, like, all right, I got 2 hours now or whatever it is, or an hour till they do another one, so you can smoke your weed then.
This nigga reminded me of the game that I played with my wife, bro.
Warm weather, vacation plans, backyard barbecues, and endless possibilities, good and bad. Summer should be your escape from stress, your time to recharge and make memories. But summer can also be the peak season for life-changing accidents. A pool party at your local community pool can end in a nasty slip or with you face-to-face with wet concrete. I've been there.
You know them niggas don't clean that shit. All right, we're gonna skip this. This is the Lower Farm.
Well, yeah, the game is called A Way Out. I play that game with my wife. Like everything that he's describing, like it just remind me of it. Like the prison guard.
Oh
Like,
yeah, the prison
they
escape
like
game.
walk back and forth and all that shit.
That game is fun.
Hell yeah, bro.
That shit's crazy too. It gets
That,
deep.
that should piss me off, bro.
Description below. This is a paid
it.
advertisement.
Oh, you finished already?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That shit pissed me off, bro.
I never finished it. That was.
You wrote a good chunk of your book in prison, but you used a prison pen. Can you describe what a prison pen is? How?
They call them security pens.
Okay.
And they're these flexible plastic tubes with a little thing of ink in them. It's just, so you can't stab somebody with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything in a prison is, can they make a weapon out of this?
Are there lots of weapons being made?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, one of the main things they liked where I was at was the tiles in the shower.
She said what?
She was so terrified. She was off the.
Oh yeah.
Hell no.
Oh, that shit happened, nigga. Oh shit. Look at her face.
Can you never finish it again? Okay.
I mean, one of the main things they liked where I was at was the tiles in the shower were coming out, so you could like pop a tile off and then carve it down into a point,
A damn
But
toothbrush.
I didn't see any stabbings. It was just fights. It was fist fights.
Were you ever involved in any?
No.
That's so interesting how you were able to keep to yourself pretty well.
Yeah, I didn't have any fights in the county jail, and I had one incident in prison. We lined up for the shower, and this big guy, and
shit.
he was not mentally all there, so which you always have to be cognizant of. He went around everybody to the front of the line, and everybody started moaning. And for whatever reason, they looked at me like, say something. So I go to him, and I'm like, hey, bro, we're all waiting in line. You gotta wait at the end of the line. I'm next. I go, come on, man. We're all being cool. Just, you can't just cut the line. I'm next.
Oh shit.
So now, do I want to fight and go to the hole over this guy getting in front of the shower?
Good night, Barry.
So I just said, whatever, bro. It wasn't worth me getting into a fight or going to the hole over a guy cutting in line of the shower who has clearly some form of mental illness.
How bad is the hole? Have you been to the hole? Never been in the hole?
No.
You've heard of the hole?
Yeah.
Does it seem bad?
Yeah.
That was a dumb question. Yeah,
That shit is
fair.
horrible.
Like,
I mean, I was in a suicide cell for 4 weeks. That's bad.
Really?
That's like the
Okay.
hole. You get nothing. You get no book. You can't get commissary. It's just misery. You don't get out.
How long did it actually feel to you?
The suicide one?
The 4 weeks.
Yeah, that was long because the suicide cell was right next to the intake, so people would be coming in like drugged out, off the wall, loud, screaming, wanting to fight the guards. There was women that were wanting to fight the guards, spitting on them. Always commotion. There's other suicide cells there, so you got guys screaming all hours of the night. It's cold. It's freezing at times. It was just miserable.
so it did not make you less suicidal. It made you more. Okay.
No suicide cells, though. But it's very tough to kill yourself in there. So
Interesting.
I was in the right spot, as miserable as it was, because early on, that's all I could think about.
While you're there waiting to figure out what happens, I mean, there's a lot of discourse on whether or not your charge should be dropped to manslaughter. There's a lot of back and forth with the prosecutors. But one of the main things that keeps happening is more victims come forward.
Yeah.
I mean, is that kind of a weird feeling? Because on one hand, you're happy your legal case is getting stronger. But on the other hand, like it must be very depressing to know that there's more, like more people, more trauma. Or did you feel in a sense like maybe we can in a sense get through it together? Maybe this is some closure for people. What was that feeling like?
Yeah, well, I mean, early on as a kid, you think you're alone. You think you're the only one.
Hey, no.
Later on, my lawyer's like,
No official.
between the state police, the prosecutor's office, my office, we're taking so many calls about victims. You know, he even said at times it's hard to keep up with. You know, that it hurts, but it also helps your case. You know, like it corroborates what you did wasn't just being, you know, drunk looking for a thrill kill, you know, like some idiot said. It's tough to like know that you need other people's pain to come forward to help you, you know.
Yeah.
But hopefully it would help them to like speak out, because that's the only way you can heal is to speak out.
You said, like some idiot said. I had the article from the idiot. Okay, I'm going to read snippets of this article, but I do have questions later because...
And I don't know if we should use his name. I don't even want to give him...
He's deceased. Yeah.
Who, the guy who wrote that?
Yeah. Ernest is dead.
Really?
Yeah. I know. We did share a little chuckle over that one. Yeah.
Okay, read away. Yeah. Wow, that's unbelievable. I'm not supposed to mourn, am I? Wow, you just blew me away with that. Holy smokes, you guys really did your work.
His article is crazy.
That?
Yeah. And it's a very intense article. And did you, I mean, I'm curious to know if you read it while you were in jail, but it reads, Dennis Pegg was the kindest, most considerate, and gentlest man to ever have graced the earth.
I did read it.
You did read it?
Yeah, you get the papers in there. And I didn't read it at the time because I was in suicide cell when it was written, but it was mailed in to me and I read it.
It is disgusting that certain lowlifes only now are coming out from under a rock to besmirch the stellar reputation of a man who can no longer defend himself.
So a victim is a lowlife.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Any sort of, like, what was your reaction when you're reading these words? I know it wasn't right away, but...
It hurt. You know, like to be... to see someone speak so highly about a predator. Like, you had... Everybody heard rumors. This guy had to hear rumors, too.
Oh, he did.
But to discount that and build this guy up as something he wasn't, you can't rape little boys and do something good and just people focus on the good. No, you're little boys.
Yeah.
Like any good you do is out the window. And yet Ernest wanted to just focus on the good.
Wait, did we talk about who wrote this article?
Yeah, who's this
Yes,
dude?
his name is Ernest, and he was very friendly with Dennis Pegg. Very close friends,
just
and
looked
also
like a
his
fucking-
attorney. He also owed
He
Dennis
looked like
Pegg
one of them.
$12,000.
Weirdo.
I mean,
He
the things
just
you can find on the
looked
internet
like
are very strange. I don't know.
They're close
but
friends?
he is since deceased, but I just find it like unthinkable, because even if I had a friend, but all these victims are coming forward, there's no way that you can write these types of words. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he had to know the rumors, and yet you're going to call me a lowlife coming out from under a rock, and you're going to build Dennis Pegg up as this pillar of society. Like,
I say do some research
I don't
on
know
that.
how
nigga
you
too.
do that.
I know he dead, but he
I
definitely
don't know
something.
how Ernest lived with himself
He probably
after
did it
writing
too.
that article.
most people, they support you, but Are there more Ernests out there? Like, do you see people writing stuff like this about you? Have people said things like this to you?
No, just the internet trolls. Like when I'll do something, you can't get away from them. Maybe you don't have them, but
no, there's no escape.
but I'll get a, just and I don't know what joy they get out of it. Like, cause when I
always
do
the trolls,
any type
man.
of interview, I put my heart and soul in it. Everything can be corroborated. I'm not lying about anything.
People think you're lying.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like this story is BS. Like, what is BS? It's Google my name. And
well, people are
early
fucking
on,
idiots.
I would try to interact with the internet trolls.
So this guy is lying.
Are you fucking stupid? Like,
nigga, I went through the shit. What are you talking about?
Why would I lie about this?
Like, bro, what? You think I just killed somebody? I just killed a random dude on a fucking night? Like, nigga, what the fuck? No, nigga.
Yeah, that's the thing, bro. Internet troll or just people that just want to hate just to hate. Some people really just come and just comment and leave and forgot they even made that comment.
And they genuinely be thinking they cooking too. Like, I know he's lying because this right here doesn't align with this and this and this and that. I cooked, I clocked it.
Yeah. Or look at the way his eyes twitch when he said that. Yeah, he lying.
Stupid as you know what I mean? It's one of them.
I said, just say you traumatize your own self, nigga.
Interact with the internet trolls just to be like.
That's the worst
and then
thing you can ever do.
They vanish. You don't hear from them. So I just gave up trying to why bother?
No, that's cap.
But yeah, as far as people in my community,
that's the worst thing you
no, I don't hear anything from like what Ernest wrote back then. I don't see that.
But okay. I looked up Dennis Pegg's obituary.
Oh, isn't that horrific?
Yeah. And I thought surely it's going to be a 5-sentence ordeal where maybe the family is like, okay, he's gone. We're in mourning. He's survived by these people. It's like a 1.5, 2 pages. It's talking about his time in the Boy Scouts extensively. Has anyone in his family reached out to apologize? Have they said anything to you?
No, I've been asked that, like, because people are like, did anybody in the family ever say I'm sorry, for what happened to you by our brother, by our uncle, by whoever? And no, nobody ever reached out. Wow. And they were all interviewed by the prosecutor. Mm-hmm. And not one person made mention of Dennis having a traumatic childhood. It's a falsehood that those abused become abusers. I had a therapist who worked in a diagnostic center for pedophiles. She said 100% coming in the door said I was abused as a child.
Damn.
They would give them all lie detector tests. 75% failed when asked, were you abused as a child? So like they all use that to try to garner sympathy for their actions instead of just like saying I'm evil and I do evil things.
And so none of his family will really acknowledge it, but wasn't his nephew a victim?
Yeah. His great nephew committed suicide after I was arrested, and he shot himself. And everybody I know, and I know people really close to him, said what a wonderful kid he was, and yet he took his life after my arrest, and they found actual images on Dennis's computer of the nephew.
Goodness, bro, like.
Do you believe that has your arrest like trigger something?
Yeah, I mean, just like it opened my brother's Pandora's box, it probably opened Dylan's Pandora's box as well.
Ernest writes in the article, that is the definition of a coward. That you guys are only coming out to his now that Dennis is dead.
Yeah.
That's what they all are. Cowards, plain and simple. Do you feel like what you did was cowardly in any way?
No. I went there, like I said, basically on a suicide mission. I was ready to give my life that night. You know, like he should have had a handgun 10 different spots in that house. And as soon as I opened that front door, I should have been shot dead.
It's interesting because a lot of people say that the worst thing you can do to another person is take away their life. But is that really true? Because it almost makes it seem like then what you did is worse than his crime.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people say, you know, like, you murdered. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I did. And that's why I'm in the position I am to advise every other victim to not follow my path. I did things wrong. I led a self-destructive life. I should have healed early on. I should have talked about this early on. And that's one of the main reasons for me being here on your program is because you have a younger demographic, I feel. And that's the age I want to reach so people can hear from me that what I did didn't heal me. It just created more problems, more trauma. I was ready to kill myself. I was ready to do life in prison. And you don't have to forfeit your life because you were abused. You know, you can heal from it. And I'm healing now. And I want people to see that. And I want them to follow my footsteps now versus how I lived earlier.
But do you feel like Dennis also killed something in all of his victims?
Oh, of course. I had a former lieutenant of a police department who was a professor at Seton Hall, and he equated childhood abuse to soul murder. You murder the soul of that child.
Yeah.
And I agreed with him 1,000% on that.
There is this interesting moment where, okay, well, first of all, your murder charge, first-degree murder charge, is brought down to manslaughter. So at some point, the prosecution, they come around.
It took 3 years. I had that first-degree murder hanging over my head for 3 years in the county jail. There is no such thing as a speedy trial when it comes to a murder. And our psych eval from our side got delayed, and it got presented to the prosecutor just before that like a couple months before the 3-year mark. And in that psych evaluation is everything laid out, like the abuse, the murder. It's not like a whodunit anymore. And between all the victims that came forward and then reading that psych evaluation, the prosecutor offered me a plea deal to second-degree manslaughter. And second-degree manslaughter carries 5 to 10 versus 30 to life for first-degree murder.
Okay, that is another thing that was so interesting. I feel like a lot of cases that we work on, the psych evaluations from the defense and the prosecution, it's like reading 2 different books from 2 different planets. Yours, we had difficulty being like, wait, this is the prosecution's psych evaluation. They're identical.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And what's really crazy is my defense came out of the prosecutor's psych eval. He came out and said, I feel passion provocation fits Clark perfectly. And he explained why. And passion provocation had never been used 30 plus years after the fact. Passion provocation is the husband comes home and his wife's in bed with the mailman, and he freaks out and kills one of them or both. That's passion provocation. This was being used 30 plus years after the initial abuse. And there's 4 factors to it, and he fit me into all 4 factors in the present day and how it fit. So like their side came up with my defense because we had initially come up with diminished capacity.
There is this interesting thing in the book where they do say the problem, though, is that you're a decent human being. And so they say that's the problem, because now with the manslaughter charge, they're saying that you will have trouble living with yourself unless you pay a debt to society.
Unless I'm punished.
Do you agree with that?
Strangely, yeah. Yeah, because I've said to people, like some of the trolls, I'm like, I paid my debt. Like I did what I was ordered to do.
Nigga, I went through jail.
Yeah.
And
Prison.
I was
it gave
assaulted.
me time.
I paid for being assaulted.
To think about life, to redirect my life.
That's some bullshit.
To think about what I want to do with my life. I needed to be away from drugs and alcohol. I needed to bring healing.
Man, pause this, bro.
I needed to confront my demons.
This shit dead ass is making me mad. Bro, how is that not self-defense though? Like, I know it's 30 years later, but how is this not self-defense in any way, bro? Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yeah, I know I feel like technicality, but it's like, bro.
I feel like in a way it's shit, because it's like, bro, I was not able to defend myself back then. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And now I'm a little older. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, in a way, he is the aggressor in this situation, because he charged at him and did. Yeah. I know all that, chat. Like, I know all the technical, but like, read to it deeper though. Like, this man was assaulted, man. Like, he was assaulted, and it's like, as a kid, and I know it's vengeance and all that, but it's like, I feel like in a way there has to be some type of like way where they could be like, oh yeah, it's I don't fucking know, but there needs to be some type of
like 2 years. Give him 2 years or
there
something.
Needs to be some type of like validation, bro. It's not validated. You know, I mean, he didn't have to go about it the way he did. He's right, but there has to be like some type of understanding too. Yeah, like the dude can't live his life the right way. Like, he can't come to y'all. Like, y'all gotta understand the position he was in. The dude was a police officer. He was a sheriff. Right. So it's like, even if he did try to come out about it, like, it's a sheriff. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you say. Like, there have to be at least some type of fucking understanding to that shit.
Yes, he killed somebody.
This nigga ruined my fucking life, bro.
Right. Like, he could have went about it in a different way, but think about it. Like, he's abusing another child, right? As he's an older man. How come it couldn't be acted as if like it's like a citizen's arrest in that area? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Aquila, pause right here. All right, we gonna pause right here, chat.
All right, chat. Y'all ready to get fucking depressed? All right, bro.
All right, let's get into it. I don't remember where we stopped, but we play it right here.
Strangely, yeah.
Yeah, I remember this.
Because I've said to people, like some of the trolls, like I'm like, I
in the comment section
paid my debt. Like, I did what I was ordered to do.
Just find out they don't respond.
And it gave me time to think about life, to redirect my life, to think about what I want to do with my life. I needed to be away from drugs and alcohol. I needed to bring healing. I needed to confront my demons. And being locked up, even though I was in hell, prison is hell, I was able to do that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. One thing, though, I will say is I'm going to link it in the description, but you have this insane interview with the prosecutor that was on your case. I thought it was the most... You guys have such interesting interactions. I'm like, how do you interact with someone that was trying to, at least at some point, make you stay in prison for the rest of your life?
Get you locked.
Is it like, is it a weird dynamic, or you guys are just buds? Like, what?
Actually, this morning at the hotel before I came here to meet you, guess who I got a text from? the prosecutor saying,
I was going to say I knocked him
and this is what he said. He goes, "I'm sorry I missed your book signing. I was in the hospital. Please save me an autographed book."
No, because you have some very interesting friendships. I mean, you're friends with a lot of the officers that arrested you.
Yeah.
You're friends with the lead prosecutor on your case.
Yep.
You're friends with a lot of like the forensic teams that probably processed the crime scene.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's no friend in law, nigga.
That is very interesting.
My biggest supporter
Yeah.
throughout all of this has been law enforcement.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, from the very get-go. Starting with Howie Ryan at the actually it started on my steps of my house when I was arrested. The guy who gave me that state police shirt, he was there. He was supposed to be getting off. He heard my name mentioned.
All right, Jimmy.
And he told his sergeant, "I know that guy. He's a friend of mine. Let me go to the house in case this goes sideways. I want to be able to talk to Clark." And when I was arrested on my front steps, he came up to me and he said quietly, "Dude, don't say a word." And then it went to Howie Ryan at the state police station. And then in the county jail, I thought because Dennis Pegg worked there,
Yeah.
because we heard the rumors 30 plus years ago about him waiting outside taking inmates home. Nothing ever happened. I thought for sure he was protected, and I thought for sure I'd get the beating of a lifetime in there. And one by one, guards came into the suicide cell and said, "I never worked with the guy. I'm hearing what an animal he was. Just hang in there. Keep your mouth shut. Don't talk to anybody." And that was like guy after guy after guy would tell me that.
I mean, that's so rare. I mean, you usually see a lot of stories of, I guess, the blue wall of cops protecting cops. So
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah. Wow. So you walk into the courtroom to give your statement. What is that like?
That was torturous. You know, like I can sit here with you now and talk and people will comment on, you know, a few other podcasts I've done, like, "Oh, I don't know how you can talk so easily about such trauma." Well, you want to see my first speech? Go, look at my courtroom speech on YouTube. It's horrific. I'm shrinking down, trying to make myself so small. I'm just wanting to hide. I can't get words out. I'm like stuttering. I'm breaking down crying, sniveling. From the time that I was 8 years old until I was 12 years old, I was sexually assaulted and raped by Dennis Pegg. It started out with him wanting to touch my scar that I had from open heart surgery at the age of 6. It progressed to wrestling matches and eventually led to him raping me. At the time, Dennis Pegg was a sheriff's officer, a scoutmaster of Troop Number 83 in Stillwater, and a close friend of our family. Dennis Pegg told me that he had sexual relations with a close family relative, and also my childhood friend, Jeff Hall. He described those relations in detail, and I believed him. He told me that he got drunk and naked with one of my close relatives and with Jeff. And he said he'd taken pictures of them naked. He showed me Polaroid photographs that he said he had taken of other young boys and men unclothed. Jeff committed suicide on February 10th, 1983, with a shotgun to his head. I was a junior in high school. My brother Jay and I ran to Jeff's house after his sister Brenda came to our house covered in blood, crying hysterically. I remember standing in the living room of Jeff's house with my brother. We got there before the authorities arrived. I saw a puddle of blood on his bathroom floor. I will always believe that Jeff killed himself as a result of Dennis Pegg's abuse. As an adult, I visited Jeff's grave at least twice a year. Every Christmas Eve, I went to visit him. But that's how confronting your trauma goes early on. It's tough. It's tough the first couple conversations. People avoid it because they want to avoid that, but that's how you get past it. So I look at that courtroom video as a stepping stone to being able to sit here with you now and talk, fluently about it.
But when you're on your way out of that courtroom, everybody starts clapping.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Yeah, it wasn't. They weren't clapping for me murdering a pedophile. They were clapping for me confronting my trauma finally.
Yeah, being strong.
And I actually got a standing ovation, which was pretty amazing. And the guards that took me back out of the courtroom into the holding cell, they said to me, "Wow, that was a first." And I'm like, "What's that?" And they're like, "Never have I seen somebody admit to murdering somebody and get a standing ovation for it." So I was like, and they're like, "That was some speech you gave. Good job."
Did it make you feel less lonely when people were clapping? Like, what is the feeling? Did you feel, is that them showing support? Did you feel less lonely? What was the feeling?
I think they could all tell how painful it was to get through what I got through.
And when it comes to sentencing, I mean, it seems like the judge is in a kind of a tricky situation because it seems like there's a lot of debate about what's justice in your case of, okay, well, typically justice looks like X amount of years. But that doesn't really feel right in this case. But was there some sort of concern that if they didn't give you enough time that other people would start going out and taking justice into their own hands? Was that like a huge...
Well, that was one of the things, that was mentioned. And my lawyer had me brace myself for the high end of the sentencing.
Which was 10 years, correct?
Yeah. Okay. He goes, I really can't see anything less than 8 years. He goes, I'd be... Just brace yourself for 8 to 10 years. He had put in a motion to sentence me to 3 to 5 years because if you have never been arrested, even though I had all those run-ins with those 3-letter agencies, I was never arrested. And he put in a motion to have me sentenced to a 3rd-degree crime. And I had enough time in where, had the judge gone with that, I would have been released. But so he goes, all this motion that I'm putting in gives a wider sentencing range. And the judge, he took a lot of deliberation and he said a lot of things that got me like really excited. And I'm thinking of liberating Mr. Fredericks at this moment. And I know Mr. Fredericks only did what he did because of what was done to him. And then in the end, he said, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to acknowledge, the motion for third-degree crime. I am going to sentence you to the minimum, 5 years, and I apologize for having to send you to prison for a single day. Wow. The judge gives me the minimum and apologizes for giving me the minimum.
That's such a weird feeling. I mean, it's the same thing with Howard Ryan apologizing to you. I mean,
Yeah.
It's kind of... I wonder if it's a confusing feeling.
Yeah, that's why I say I think everybody in law enforcement, like, look, a judge isn't supposed to have excommunication, excommunicado communications outside of the courtroom with anybody. They're human, so he's going to probably hear rumors about Dennis Pegg as well.
Yeah.
And the prosecutor ran a dual investigation on what I did and what Dennis Pegg had been up to for his whole life. And it was obvious what Dennis was doing. Everybody knew. And it got uncovered. And, they don't want to justify what I did. They still wanted to punish me. And I, at the end of the day, I still had to do 5 years. It's no walk in the park. It's still 5 years. And, but
so stupid.
I had like the perfect storm. I'm in a little small town, a little small county with a monster who had a 45-year reign of terror, who everybody heard something eventually, except maybe Ernest Hemshot, who had his ears plugged. Everybody heard something about Dennis Pegg. And at the end of the day, I got the minimum. Stupid. I don't think that's going to happen to anybody else. You're not going to get this type of perfect storm if you go do what I did. And that's why, and you do not want to try to heal from abuse in prison. Prison is hell. I am the rarity. I was able to do it. I was able to start my healing, getting locked up. But man, don't think you're gonna follow my footsteps. Start healing now, and instead of like following me to prison like I did. You don't want to do that.
What was the first thing you did when you got out of prison?
Very first thing, my niece picked me up. I'm very close with my niece Kim, and she insisted on picking me up.
So he did.
And we went right to a diner.
What'd you order?
Oh my God, I had eggs, sausage, bacon, pancakes, everything, and just.
Wait, do you not get? Okay, what was like your prison? Like, what do you eat in prison? Sorry.
This is what in prison the food was tough. I ate 6 nights a week. I had ramen noodles and mackerel with hot sauce and honey.
That's an interesting combination.
And that was 6 nights a week. On Sunday nights, they gave you real chicken. They gave you a chicken leg. So I would eat the chicken. But the other 6 nights, I had ramen noodles and mackerel.
Wow. So you go to a diner and you order everything.
Noodles and fish.
Yeah. And what everything from jail to prison is gluten. And I was in agony my whole 5 years, like doubled over, in pain, agonizing pain, because I had celiac. I didn't know it.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. But have y'all seen like other prisons, bro? Like, I think I saw a video like a couple weeks ago, but it was like Japan or China's fucking jail, bro. But that nigga be eating good,
bro. Nigga, they got TV, everything there.
Yeah, bro. I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? This
nigga living the best life, nigga.
This nigga eat compound chicken, fucking orange chicken, nigga, fucking like, bro. They're eating lavish on that motherfucker.
They eating the best meal ever, nigga.
And the U.S. prison is like fucking horrible.
Yeah, apparently, I think the U.S. prison is like. I think if I'm not wrong, like it's like one of the worst prison, bro. Like when it comes to like feeding.
Yeah, I think when it comes to food, I think the U.S.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Mexico too. I'm not sure. But
that's crazy.
Pain, agonizing pain, because I had celiac. I didn't know it, and I lived on Maalox and Tums for 5 years, and so getting it out and just going to a diner and getting real food, just that was great.
But after you get out, what happens with your brother?
Yeah, nobody wanted me. I needed a place to live. And my lawyer didn't want me going to my mother's. My mother didn't want me coming to my mother's. My niece, my sister, nobody wanted me going to my mother's because my brother was there. He got divorced when I was locked up. He lost his business while I was locked up. He lost his 33-acre
your mother didn't want you
horse farm when I was locked up. And nobody wanted me to come home because he was in such bad shape. But it was either that or a homeless shelter. So I just said, let me just get out of here and we'll figure things out afterwards. So I went home with my brother and mother.
You suspect that he was a victim of Dennis Pegg. He knows you were, but you guys never, even when you get out of prison, you don't talk about it.
No. My brother didn't want to confront anything, didn't want to talk about anything. It's quite often the case, like members of family won't talk about what happened. And I thought when I was in prison, sitting in my prison cell, I would have these amazing conversations with my brother when I got out. And then when I got out and the shape he was in, the path he was on, it was difficult.
Do you think he felt guilty that he didn't protect you from his
I'm sure that's part of it also. He said numerous times, I should have been the one that killed Dennis. He said that over and over to me. Yeah.
When did you find him?
It was 2 years ago this past February. He was spiraling. He had gotten sober for 9 months, but he was like a dry brush ready to catch fire. He wasn't doing anything spiritually, therapy-wise. I finally got him to go to the gym, start working out. So he eventually started drinking again. And even on his last day of life, I went to the gym and I said to the gym owner, was my brother in today? He goes, yeah. He goes, he wasn't feeling that swift, but he was here. I said, okay, that's a good sign. And I went home and his truck was in the driveway. And I went upstairs and there he was on the kitchen floor. And I thought he had killed himself. I thought he had shot himself, and I started screaming at him, how could you? And then I got closer, and there was no gunshot wound. And I called 911, and I started CPR. And I did CPR until the ambulance got there. CPR is exhausting, and it was...
You could pass out.
It took every ounce of me to keep going until they arrived, and then they worked on him for an hour. But he was long gone by the time I found him.
Do you think Dennis Pegg killed your brother?
Yes. Yep. And there's been times where I wish I could resurrect Dennis after my brother's death.
Why?
To do it all over again.
To do it all over again. That's crazy.
My next door neighbor, Jeff, who was like a brother to me, put a shotgun in his mouth at age 23 and blew his head off. And my brother and I found him in his house. Then, so not only do I find Jeff, then I have to find my brother. And I blame Dennis for both of their deaths.
Yeah, it's that nigga's fault.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, bro.
So since prison, since you killed Dennis, have you drank? Have you done drugs?
Nope. This past June, I celebrated 13 years sober.
Wow. Was it hard?
The first 2 years were in jail. And therapists will tell you 18 to 30 months it takes for your brain to rewire itself from the pleasure chemicals of drugs and alcohol. And during those first 2 years, here I'm facing life in prison. And I'm saying to myself, I cannot wait to see if I get out from under this life sentence so I can have a glass of red wine and a line of cocaine, because they went perfect together. And I would say that to guys on the tier that I was friends with. I'd be like, man, I can't wait to do a line of coke with a glass of red wine. And then sometime after that second year, it just like a light just like hit me. Like a meteorite came into my being. And I was like,
switch on his ass.
Are you out of your mind? Like, you can never go back to that. I can never go back to living like the animal I was. Like that died that night with Dennis, living that way. Sure. And I snapped out of it. That was it.
Wow. And no gambling, nothing.
No.
Instead, it seems like you've been very busy changing laws. Yeah. What happened in New Jersey? What's going on there?
There was advocates working for 15 to 20 years to get a new statute of limitations law. What statute of limitations law allows is for victims of sexual abuse to sue their abuser or the organization that harbored their abuser. Mm-hmm. We had the worst law in the country. Our law stated in New Jersey that at age 18, when you officially became an adult, you had 2 years to file a lawsuit. So if you got sexually abused at 8, 10, 12, 15, you're going to come forward at 18 to file a lawsuit? It basically was a dead law. Like nobody's going to do that. So our statistics said that people don't talk about their abuse until age 48 to 52 is the norm. So we championed a law that took the age up to 55. And what was really holding it up is we wanted a 2-year open window where when the law went into effect, a 2-year clock started ticking where anyone, no matter what age, the law went up to 55, but in that 2-year window, you could be 85, 75, 65 and come forward and file a lawsuit. And the Catholic Church were the ones fighting that law. At every hearing, their lawyers were there opposing the law, saying it would bankrupt the Catholic Church. They literally said, your sons and daughters' parochial school will go out of business if this law is passed.
I mean, how do people maintain any court decorum and in that situation? I mean, it makes you want to scream in the courtroom.
Yeah, it was... The Catholic Church it really gets me wound up, and it's not to do with your faith. Yeah. It's to do with the hierarchy and the way it's run, and what they've allowed, and they've harbored their priests to keep them from facing justice, and they're sending their lawyers to stop a law to help victims, and yet they come out and say we're all for victims. No, you're not. You're not.
And so you spearhead that. What is it in New Jersey now?
The law, we got it passed finally, unanimously. I worked for 2 years as an advocate.
Oh my goodness.
I had a lawyer say, your story's so over the top, maybe you can use it to sway some of the senators that are holding up the law. And that's what we did. We started meeting with senators, and 2 years later, it went up for vote, and it passed unanimously. And we went from the worst law in the country to the strongest law. So
that's good.
Victims have up until age 55 to come forward, so it gives them plenty of time to heal. And that 2-year window did happen. It went into effect. And, it's something like if you told me back when I have a mob hit on me, that I'm going to work as an advocate and change laws. I'd be like, really? Yeah, you think so? I think you're delusional, Steph. But that's exactly what happened. And myself and every other advocate that worked on that law can go to their grave, like knowing we accomplished something great.
Have you been to Dennis Pegg's grave?
No.
Okay.
No. I know.
I go in that motherfucker. I'm pulling up with a bazooka, nigga.
A couple people who reached out to me and sent me private messages on Facebook saying they visited it.
Oh, we had half a mind to go and spit on it.
They did something a little worse to it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people did some crazy.
So you're like, they did it.
They got it covered for all of us. And people, everybody is listening and be like, "Oh, you're talking bad. You really did that to somebody." The guy was a monster. He wasn't a human. I've said that over. I can't stress enough. A literal devil. The devil. This is what more could you stereotype the devil as than what this guy was?
Yeah. There's no salvation for someone like that.
Not at all. What's good, Cookie Bunny, man? How you been?
You guys know that we have been huge fans of Shopify ever since we opened Grandpa Mingo's studio to sell his limited edition artwork. But now, and this is a secret between you and me and Shopify,
shout out Shopify. Get your store running. Got a heartbeat.
You did something interesting in prison.
Where are you going with this stuff? I don't even know.
You helped someone write a love letter.
I helped a Spanish guy who was facing 10 years and he had an English girlfriend and he did not have command of the English language. And he asked me, would I write a love letter to his girlfriend about, how much he loved her and please wait for him and he'll be back. And
did it work?
I don't know. He got shipped off to prison, and that's the last I ever saw of him. So
in my mind, it worked.
Yeah. So no, I wrote letters for guys to their lawyers, to their public defenders, to the judge, and to their family members.
Good question, chat. Your crush, not your crush, your partner or something, got 10 years. Y'all waiting? Just let me know if you really love the nigga and all that shit. Y'all waiting 10 years till he get up? That's a long time, nigga. 10 fucking years, nigga.
You know what they're gonna say? Yeah, if it's their bias, they'll wait.
Yes.
Depending on the crime. I mean,
man, that's a bunch of bullshit. Y'all not waiting for that shit. Bro.
Man, they're capping, bro.
Let's say you 25 years old, man. They went to prison. Hey, nigga, for women,
let me stop reading my mind. I know how y'all think, bro.
High risk pregnancy starts at 30, 33 and up or something like that. I don't know what the fuck. But around that time, y'all gonna wait 10 years. You gonna be 35 by the time that nigga get up.
I mean, me and that partner, we better have been partnered for at least more than 5 years or some shit.
If a nigga getting 10 years, he did a federal crime and up. That nigga has done some crazy.
Yeah.
If he getting 10 years, he did some crazy shit.
Because if we've only been together for just maybe a year, man, I don't know, bro.
If the nigga going to prison for 10 years, he did some crazy shit.
A year not really worth it.
Yeah, I'm saying if me and that partner has been together, known each other, been together for just a year or maybe 2. Yeah. Nigga, you gonna be locked up for 10, nigga. Stay over there.
I've been waiting for Mark for 20. All right, bro. Not what DNA talk about. I'm talking about some real shit, man. Y'all weigh in chat? I don't know, man. That's a long time.
I'm gonna be honest, 10 years, dog.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Why y'all spamming my face, man? What my face?
Now, if I'm 40 years old, I'm already old as fuck.
Yeah.
And that happened, I'll wait.
If we already be, you know what I'm saying, we be married, we've had kids and everything.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'll wait.
Nigga, I'll wait. Nigga, nothing wrong waiting, nigga.
But nigga,
what am I gonna do at that age?
I'm 25, 26, 27, nigga.
I'm gonna throw 10 years of my life away because you wanna fuck up. Can't throw 10 years of my life away just because you want to go fucking rob a bank.
So no, I wrote letters for guys to their lawyers, to their public defenders, to the judge, and to their family members. You know, I felt I needed to do stuff for other people to make myself feel better in that situation. Just like I needed to do good things because I was in such a dark spot when I was locked up. So I constantly did that.
So you never wrote a letter to like a college sweetheart?
Nope.
Did you think about it?
I did. And I thought I'll never get to see Lisa again. I'll never get that
Lisa,
chance, you know, to ride off into the sunset, swoop her up off her feet, especially early on when I was facing life for those 3 years. And then I never heard from her. And I'm like, all right, well, that's that.
I mean, how often did you think about your college sweetheart?
I thought about her my whole
she didn't
life.
even
Like
reach
she
out,
was inside my skull scratching. Like literally like tormenting me. Clarky, why, Clarky? Why? Why could you not commit to me? And just the shame of that. You know, like victims love to just shame themselves. So that would add shame to my shame. And then doing drugs would add shame to my shame. And getting involved with the mob would add shame to my shame. And not being able to tell my father would add shame to my shame. So like we're just constantly shaming ourselves. And so Lisa was just another source of shame. And so no, I never. I thought I missed my chance. And after that law passed, that law took up a lot of time. I was working full time. I was speaking. You know, started motivational speaking. And then when the law passed, I'm like, what now? And I was working as a chef, assistant chef at a busy restaurant. I'm driving home late at night one night, and I'm like, I either want to get a pit bull or a girlfriend.
Wait, this is a crazy multiple choice.
So pit bull, girlfriend, pit bull, girlfriend. And I'm like, it's not fair to any girl I get involved with if I'm still thinking about Lisa.
So you never stopped thinking about Lisa?
I never did. No. And I'm like,
I bet Lisa
to get into a new relationship, to get into any relationship, I've got to confront Lisa. I found her on Facebook. And I drafted up a long Facebook message, and I deleted it. And I drafted up another message. And my thumb hung over the send button. And I debated, is it better to keep the fantasy? Maybe I'm just making it up in my mind how amazing our love was and how passionate we were for each other. Maybe like time has made me delusional, and it wasn't really all I think it is.
Because you hadn't seen her since you were 20.
I was probably 23 and she was 22.
And how old are you at this point?
When I got released, I'm 50 years old. And then I worked on the law for a couple of years. So now I'm like 52, 53.
Wow. Okay, and now you're like, I don't know.
bro.
But you send it, right?
So do you keep the fantasy alive and not send it? Or do you pull up your big boy pants and say, let's see what the hell's going to happen here, and you send it? You got to send it, Steph. You got to take chances. So I sent it out. Yeah. And I was literally like a crackhead waiting for his dealer to call him back. Like,
that nigga feet was in the air like this.
Check my phone. I'm at work. I had to check my phone 100 times.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, oh, knew I shouldn't have sent it. And then she replied.
Oh shit.
And then I replied. And then she replied. And I replied. And she replied.
Was it awkward? Was it?
What are we replying?
It instantly started to flow. She thought I couldn't commit to her all those years ago because I didn't love her. And that wasn't the case. I explained that to her. And I explained it was because of all the pain I was harboring inside, and I just couldn't be intimate with somebody. Yeah. And
has she heard about what happened at all?
Yeah, like I said, my one roommate and her one roommate ended up married.
Oh, yeah.
And her roommate reached out to her and filled her in. She had written me 3 letters, I believe, when I was locked up, and she ended up ripping them up because she just wasn't ready to open that door again. She just couldn't let herself feel vulnerable at that moment.
Yeah.
Makes sense,
Now that
makes
I
sense.
was released, she allowed herself to be vulnerable and opened up.
Where we going with this?
And I said, why don't we meet for coffee? She was in New York. I was in New Jersey. Again, she's still thinking I didn't love her. I'm telling her I did. She's not really believing me. So
not
I
married?
brought ammunition with me to that first coffee meeting to prove to her that I did, in fact, love her.
What was that?
She had written me a lot of love letters and cards back in the day, and I had saved them. And over the years, whenever I would start lamenting her, I would get out these love letters and
Tell me
reread
that's
them
his wife, bro.
and feel connected. Whenever I would feel a gap between us forming, I would get her love letters out and reread them and get that bond back together. And I brought a briefcase with me to the coffee shop, and she said, "Do you always bring a briefcase with you when you have
Mr.
coffee?"
Romantic.
And I said,
This is full of the letters.
"There's something inside there I want you to see that will show you that I loved you." And I opened it up and I took out all the love letters from when she was 21 years old, and
that's
20 years old, and 22 years old. And
I would have lost that shit.
we sat there rereading them, and that sort of sealed the deal. And I told her, this is how I stayed connected with you over those 30 plus years.
And you didn't really talk to her during those 30 years.
No,
You
there was
just read
not
these-
one word. Nothing between us.
You just read these letters.
Yeah.
Wow.
And stayed connected that way with her.
Wow. Did it feel weird? I mean, I'm sure you guys look different from when you're 20. Or did it feel like nothing changed?
I'm surprised, bro.
She kept saying to me, we've led 2 totally different lives. We're 2 totally different people. You know, we're not the same we were back then. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. Just let's go have a coffee. And by the end of that coffee, it was
still there.
back on.
Bro,
Okay, so you have a few letters. Yours.
I'm actually surprised she's not like married or anything, nigga. Like it's like in a way she was like in her head waiting on the nigga.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what happens next, but I'm just saying from just what I've heard, like, nigga, 50, not married yet. It's like in a way you're telling yourself, hey, there's a chance this nigga comes back in this, and she just held on that long. That's crazy, bro. 30 fucking years.
That's tough.
Saying some of them are too
30 years, chat.
risque for us to read out loud, right?
I don't want to embarrass
but there's one.
Lisa, but
Yeah,
I
he still
think
got
this
some.
one from July of 1989. Can you believe that?
Wait,
1989.
and you
1989.
Should we bring out the author of this letter? Come on.
Oh, she's big.
Oh.
Oh, this is so cute.
She's gorgeous too. Can you take notes? All right.
Yeah, I'm nonchalant, man. I'm gangster. I don't care about that.
First of all, you look phenomenal.
Okay.
I read about their love story in the book.
What's going on?
And I'm the #1 fan. I call you guys Lark, which is the ship name, which is when you combine Lisa and Clark. Hello, Lisa. Okay,
Hello,
I mean, you
early.
have to tell me, what was it like seeing him at that coffee shop and the briefcase? What did you think was in the briefcase?
I didn't know it was
Casino
in the
money?
briefcase. I mean, first of all, seeing him after like 3 decades, it was unbelievable. The 2 weeks that we were in communication with each other, we were kind of getting to know each other again, but we always would banter back and forth and tease each other, and we always had a very playful relationship. So it was kind of, we got back into that rhythm.
Yeah.
We actually didn't have a phone conversation until we saw each other. So it was kind of like we hadn't spoken on the phone yet.
Oh my goodness.
And we met for coffee, and I was so nervous. I remember I was like, okay, I don't want to seem too anxious or too interested or whatever. I didn't know what was going to happen. He had led this crazy life. So there was a part of me that was a little nervous, like, who is this person? Is he the same person I remember from college years? But I just felt this burning desire to explore it and to see him. And I was so
Like, you a real gangster. I want
impressed with what he was doing with his life, from where he was and where he is now, that day when we were meeting, and all the good things he was doing, helping to change the statute of limitations law in New Jersey, being an advocate, speaking out, getting other people to speak out. I was truly inspired by him. So I said, I have to at least meet him for coffee. Even if we just have a friendship, like, I just felt like this was something I just needed to do at this point in my life.
Did you think about him as often as he thought about you?
Probably not. Sorry. I was so busy living my life, you know.
Understandable.
I was growing a business. I had children. I was married to somebody else for 20 years. The marriage was deteriorating, and but at the same time, I did think
What she said? My bad.
She was married.
else for 20 years. The marriage was deteriorating, and but at the same time, I did think about him because I felt like he was that one person.
Okay.
I think everyone has that one person that their first love, and that person that there was never any sort of closure with Clark. When the relationship ended, I still loved him, and I didn't understand why we didn't work. And the connection was definitely unlike any other connection I'd had, even, my marriage. So I just felt like I had to do it. I just didn't want to spend my life regretting not seeing him, not talking to him.
So Stephanie read the book and was telling me about how Clark was saying that you're this force of nature when you guys
storm.
Yes.
The first time you guys met, it was in the library, and then you just
I can
plopped
tell you
down.
that.
And
Right.
Yeah,
It was the L Center, which was the student center
The door was
at
going away,
Northeastern.
Yeah.
So can you tell us your point of view?
So when I walked in, I mean, first of all, I was a freshman, he was a sophomore. And I grew up in a house. I'm one of 3 girls. I was the middle daughter, and I was more of the rebellious person. And my parents were like just always, I had all these rules, that I had to follow. And when I went away to college, it was like, I felt like I was just being let out of a cage. My parents were very strict. So I just felt like when I was in college, and that was actually, I met Clark, I think it was the first semester that I was there. So it was the fall. And I just felt free. And I just walked into the L Center, and I saw this young guy sitting, and he looked so lonely because he was sitting at there was a round table and 4 chairs, and he was alone, except he was in one chair and there were 3 empty chairs. And I was like, all right, maybe I'll just sit down and say hello. And I just did. And he looked at me, and his blue eyes just captivated me immediately. But he was really quiet. And I was like, blah, 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 just talking all about myself. And I don't think he really knew what to say. And I don't know if he'd ever met anyone quite like me. So, from his little town of Stillwater. Yeah, I just kind of talked, and then I finally paused and said, "And do you ever talk?" You did.
This is so funny because in his book he writes that he was just trying to focus on schoolwork, and he says like, no, he looked lonely, so I needed to.
I felt like I needed to just talk to him, and
That's how I met your mother.
And that was our first meeting, and it was intense right from the start. I feel like he invited me to a party he was having that weekend at his apartment. And I got there, and I was just looking for him, and we shared our first kiss that night.
Oh my God.
I was 18, actually, when we met. So it was a very long time ago. Mm-hmm. And Northeastern was a co-op program, so we were kind of coming and going. There were not cell phones at the time. So, just connecting and reconnecting with different semesters, was interesting. But we always seemed to find each other. Mm-hmm.
Do you guys still have the same dynamic where you're the one that's like talking his ear off, or
he's now the talker? I don't know if you can sense from the interview. No, I absolutely love talking to him. When we reconnected, it was like getting to know him all over again. But he was a different person now. This was 6 years ago, but he was a different person than when I knew him back in college. I mean, he was a free person, free from prison and also free from, his secrets. Yeah. And he had healed and he was evolved. And it was like our relationship was a million times better because we were both in a different place in our lives. And the timing was right for both of us.
You guys have a very interesting energy. I've never experienced this before, where you meet a couple and you feel like you are the side character in a romance novel, and you're like, oh, I'm just a side character. It's actually not my main love story. Like, you guys have such fascinating, and you're getting shy. Are you guys getting shy?
Yeah, he's definitely
you
getting
guys
shy.
are so fascinating.
I'm watching. Smile from ear to ear.
Yeah.
Smiling more than you.
I think it's because I feel like we have maybe a similar dynamic where we call it yapping.
Yeah.
So I yap to him, not with him. Yeah. When the cops came to arrest you, they searched your room and they found your love letters.
Yeah. When they come to your house, they like trash it. They dumped every drawer out, tore the bedding apart, the closet, everything was out. I had 2 cedar cabinet desks and, just everything is dumped out. And my mother went to like try to put everything back together in this room. And she came across letters addressed from Lisa and saw the postmark from 1989, 1990, 1991, and she said, what has Clark held on to these for so long? These have to be as valuable as gold to him. So I got to put these in a safe place. So my mother went through my mess, scooped up my love letters, and held them for me until I got released. And then she's like, I found these straightening out your room. Why have you kept all these letters? And I'm like, that's how I stayed connected with Lisa, Mom, over the years.
Do you think your mom knew
mom's always
all
doing
along?
shit like that.
Yeah, I would tell my mom. I would cry to my mom. Not every year, or maybe it would, maybe after the mob threatening my life and having the FBI come say there's a hit put on you. Maybe I sat with my mom then and said, like, man, I've really allowed life to get away from me. I wish I had never lost Lisa, and cried with her over that. But her and I had talks over the years about Lisa. When Lisa would come and visit, she would get up early and go sit on my parents' bed as they're both still in bed, my father and mother, and have these long talks as they're still lying in bed. And they just loved her.
Wait, could you read us a snippet of the letter you wrote him?
Sure.
Have you read this since?
Oh my gosh. So when he first showed me the letters and I started to read them in the coffee shop.
Oh my goodness.
I started hysterically laughing because reading a letter that you wrote 30 years ago, at that point in your life where you're just all hormones, you're like 18, 19, just discovering love.
So this letter she got for me, it says, for yesterday's memories, today's love, and tomorrow's dreams.
I will fucking
I love
cringe.
you. Do we know what parts you can read?
So, yeah.
She says crazy shit.
So this was written July 16th, 1989.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, when he had these letters, I realized that this is true. Yeah. You just never could believe someone would be thinking about you for 30 years. But when they take your letters out of a briefcase and show them to you, you're like, they really were thinking about me all this time. Like, no one holds on to letters for 30 years unless that person really meant something incredibly deep to them. So it made it real for me, seeing the letters. So, all right, here we go. Dearest Clark, we've shared so many memories together, both good and not so good ones. I like to remember the good ones because they're the ones that stick out in my mind. The time that we drank wine at Ed Burke's was an early memory, but one that for some reason always sticks out in my mind. The next sentence we'll skip.
I don't know what happened at Ed Burke's.
We already know what they talking
that
about.
you would go to all lengths to satisfy me really intrigued me.
Hey!
All right, that's as risque as we're getting. I often think about the quiet times we've spent together, just staring into each other's eyes across a dinner table when we were out, or when we were in bed together holding each other. I see something so caring and wonderful about the way you look at me that somehow makes me shake. During times like that, nothing needs to be said because I know what you're saying to me with your eyes. Those romantic times were great, but the wild and crazy times were great as well. Skip the next sentence. Oh my gosh. Where am I up to? All.
You guys are getting lost in the non-sentences.
All of these times that we've shared have become cherished thoughts that are embedded in my head and my heart. I don't exactly know at what point I actually fell in love with you. I just know that at this point, each day I spend without you is a torment. Every time I get off the phone with you, I feel alone again. I get through each day with the thought that one day soon we will be together and I won't have to ever feel lonely again.
Damn.
Those are my dreams for our tomorrow. I miss you so much right now that I hurt. I need you, Lisa.
Damn.
So,
bro,
yeah.
Imagine that. She writing all that shit.
Cry. I knew she was about to cry.
I know that nigga was going through it, just knowing, but he finna break her heart around that time, nigga. It's you like, fuck, man. She really gives a fuck about me, but it's like, I can't do it, man. But just imagine, bro. Damn, bro, this is sad. This is sad as fuck.
I need you, Lisa. So, yeah. So imagine reading that letter 30 years later and feeling all those emotions that you felt.
Yeah.
It was incredible, and it's still incredible.
And you get those letters in pristine condition.
In their envelopes.
Yeah.
But this is how we communicated, because we didn't have cell phones.
Clean,
so I wrote him lots of letters, and he kept them all.
So what do you guys do now for fun together?
What we really cherish is Sundays and Monday mornings we have together to have coffee.
It's our time together.
We just love having coffee together.
We just like to explore different places to walk. And we take our walks and we cook together, which we love to do. Clark's an incredible cook. We like listening to podcasts.
So they're not married yet?
Yes.
Do you watch all of his podcasts?
I do. And I try to give him constructive criticism. I think his platform is so important.
No,
and I want him to grow. And I think he's doing such meaningful work. Yeah. And he continues to inspire me. Ever since we reconnected, I tell him he's a constant source of inspiration for me.
Yeah.
Lisa made the comment one time, it doesn't matter what we do as long as we're together. Yeah. So the day before we flew down to do your show, my mother was in the hospital. So we had to go pick her up from the hospital. It took a while, to get her discharged. Drove her home, got her home, and the same thing we just took her from the hospital for happened again. And we had to turn around and drive her back to the hospital. And we met my sister there, and we were there a while. And so it was a really long day. And then eventually we had to leave my mother there. And driving home that night, I said to her, I go, you made the comment one time, it doesn't matter what we're doing as long as we're together. So I hope that holds true for today as well. And she's like, of course it does.
Yeah, we're a team for sure. And I think that's when you know you're with the right person. Because it doesn't feel like a chore to do that. You just want to be there for them.
But is your mother okay?
She's home now. She's got some medical issues we got to get straightened out, but she's home right now.
And Clark and his sister are such a great team. Like they come together and they take turns and help. And she's 96, his mom. So, yeah.
August 31st, she'll be 96.
Yeah, she's turning 96 this month.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Is she happy that you two are back together?
She's one of my biggest fans. She calls me Lisa, my love, just like Clark.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so happy you're back in Clark's life. I always knew that you were the one. You were so special. She said, I'm just so happy that you're here.
I feel like moms know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop. Okay. Lisa, we need a podcast episode on Clark's podcast of you, which I'm going to link in the description along with his book. And I would be obsessed if you guys filmed TikToks together. I don't know. I just want to know more about your life. I'm obsessed to the point where I genuinely feel like I'm a side character in a rom-com at this point. Like, you guys have some intense chemistry. I can only imagine those letters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask a final question?
Yes.
Clark, I know you commented that there are seasons to life.
Yes.
What would you say what season you're in right now?
That's a good
I would
question.
say, and I tell people this because there's so many times I thought of giving up, but I always retained a little glimmer of hope. And, so there's like cold, dark winters where nothing's going right in your life. You got the FBI telling you there's a hit. You've just committed murder. You're a drug addict. You're in prison. Those are all cold, dark winters. You're getting sexually assaulted and animals being beaten in front of you. Cold, dark winter. And I tell people, don't ever lose hope that sunshine awaits you and opportunity awaits you. And I would say in the spring is when you plant. I would say I'm just starting to harvest. So I'm in that spring to summer mode. I'm not in the full-blown summer of harvesting yet. It's been a long road to get to this point. That book has taken 10 years. I wrote that in prison 10 years ago. So for people that want to lose hope, like my book took 10 years. Like, don't lose hope. Opportunity awaits you around the corner. It's not going to be tomorrow sometimes, but it definitely awaits. And this book will instill hope in you and inspiration. That's what it wasn't written to be a trauma dump. It was written to give people hope that anything is possible. Like, I'm living proof that literally anything is possible.
Yeah. And you're reunited
And I get the girl back at the end.
And he gets the girl back,
It should be a movie. My life literally has been a movie.
Yeah, no, they need a movie. Bro. I need a movie. You guys are incredible.
Movie,
please keep us updated. Not even just us, but like our audience on everything you guys are gonna do.
All right.
Lisa, please promise me you're gonna keep us updated. I'm
gonna start taking some classes about TikTok videos like tomorrow. Maybe on the plane home. You never know.
And I am going to leave all of the links in the description. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you. You guys were amazing to us.
That was beautiful, bro. That was motherfucking beautiful, man. I was not expecting that at all. And it's crazy how I was just talking to chat, talking about, y'all waiting 10 years? Nigga, you got niggas that come back 30 years later, nigga.
I mean, technically she wait.
I mean, she didn't wait, but it's like,
but
it's like what's meant to be is meant to be type shit.
It seemed like the marriage that she was in, it was not really a happy marriage for her. Yeah. So she had she had an actual choice of, like somebody that she can actually spend the rest of her life with, compared to, you just live in a marriage and just be lonely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wait, so are they married yet? Or they're still in this, like, we just got back together phase?
I don't know.
Because they didn't say anything about marriage.
Together for 6 years.
They've been together for 6 years?
I think they just really gotten back into the swing of things 6 years prior, right?
Is that what they said?
But I don't think they're married though.
Yeah, I don't think they're married. I don't know. I did see a ring though. I did see a ring, right? Didn't he have a ring?
I mean, he has a ring on too. That's what I don't know.
Yeah, they'll probably be married
or engaged or something.
But if they were engaged, I feel like they would have said that in this joint.
Yeah, I don't know.
They said they're just together. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because he's just calling her Lisa. I feel like he'll be calling her something else. I don't know.
Oh yeah, my wife.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's what I was like. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just like, okay, I think they just got back.
I think he's still like trying to get into like
the whole marriage thing.
Yeah, like the commitment thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember him saying that shit scared the shit out of him.
Yeah.
When they were younger, like
and
that.
I feel like she will understand him more now.
Yeah.
So it's like, man.
I don't know, Chad.
That was sad, bro.
That fuck that nigga, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck that. If I see his grave, bro, I promise you I'm spitting on that bitch.
In GTA, dog.
In GTA.
Yeah, I'm dropping elbows on that joint in GTA.
In GTA, bro.
Nigga said I'm doing all kinds of jumping on that motherfucker.
I'm riding a dirt bike through that shit in GTA, bro.
Nigga said I'm drifting all over that nigga shit. Nah, bro. That was one crazy ass episode. One crazy ass episode.